inherent soul power. And as I've always said in the past, as I will say in the future, that everything I said, I am responsible for. And I want everybody to hear what I have to say, to notice that I'm ready, night or day, to be confronted about what I say, and about who I say about. This is about unjust persecution. I've always wanted to know what it was like being persecuted. Well, I'm a living example of being persecuted for just trying to do the right thing. Do the right thing for those of them who've been locked out, those of them who don't seem to be able to connect to people that will really come forward and speak on their behalf. Well, I've been one that's been doing it now for some 44-something years now. And I'm proud and I'm honored of the moments that I've given to my community and to our people. And that's been all people. That's right, black, white, Puerto Rican, Jew, what have you. I've always called that because that's what it's always been about me. It ain't been about black and white, it's about right and wrong. And that is why I'm coming to you today saying to you that there's some names I'm going to mention about some powerful people. And you know these people got power. They're judges, they're lawyers, and they got the kind of power to come and charge me if I'm defaming them. They got the kind of power to sue me for damages if I'm saying something that I can't back up. And I'm saying to y'all, I have a website, www.cecilyoung.com. And I will mention it throughout this show. This is a half-an-hour show today that I'm asking to be able to spend enough quality time to talk to y'all about my rights being violated. Yes, some may say it's me today, but it could be you tomorrow. And that's why I say to everybody, whomever you may be, today me, tomorrow you. Let us not forget about the importance of doing the right thing while we can. And that's why I'm here, to be honored to be able to say that God has allowed me to come here, so-called to the mountaintop, and to speak truth to the Pharaoh and his heroes about how our people have been being treated. Just because we had enough nerve to care and enough to be able to step out and be able to stand up for what we said we believe in. And that's what I've been doing for 40-something years. And it's been a lonely battle. It's been a lonely battle, and it's taken its toll on me and my wife and my family. But because I committed to God when I was 16 years old, that people allowed me to go out there and prove to my worthiness that I will honor him and acknowledge him, and I want to acknowledge him for all of what he's been able to do for me, through me. You know, I know some of y'all say, how could God use somebody like that? Why not? God has been known to use all kind of people to make all kind of things happen that we can't even conceive of. But he just has that kind of power, that kind of ability. And I believe that covenant that I made with him some 40-something years ago, okay, I promised him that I would acknowledge him and thank him for what he's done for me, and hope that I can inspire others that in hide where you come from, and hide what you got to work with. If you think hard enough, if you work hard enough, if you figure out things well enough, you can bear fruit. And that's what I've been able to do for 40-something years, and I feel good about me and what I've been representing. Can't nobody say to me, whoever they may be, that I can't back up whatever I may say, whatever it may be, whenever I say it, because I can always do that. Now this is about me and my court case. I told y'all I had 2 cases pending in Superior Court, one pertaining to the city attorney's office, taking away my sheriff work because I wouldn't drop my public safety concerns and my other health concerns, okay? And the other was because they offered me the boot finder job if I would drop a lawsuit that I hadn't even filed yet, because I wasn't planning on filing until after we got through with what they was trying to do to me. They fired me unjustly. I have a letter here, and they fired me unjustly behind these toxic piles. These are terminated piles that were found at the City Health Department in 2004. 2004, these were piles that I say from the house, from the city of Bridgeport, that should have been something done about it a long time ago before they took it down. But because I dared enough to care to speak out about it, I got persecuted because of that. And here's part of what I'm saying. Now, I had a trial, and the judge, the name was Judge Richardson. Judge Richardson. She's a Superior Court judge, and I have all respect for judges, okay, regardless of who they are, black, white, Puerto Rican, Jew, whatever, because I know them all. I know Judge Scott Melville, I know Judge Owens, I know even Chief Judge Gilroy Dale, who used to be the federal court judge. I campaigned for him back in the 40s, some 40 years ago when he was running for Attorney General or something. So I know a lot of judges, and I respect them. But this Judge Richards, I want you to look at the trial pertaining to my case and see how she ruled against me and went along with the labor board in the city of Bridgeport because of that debt that they owe one another. It has to be that, a debt that they must owe one another in order for her to do what she did to me, which was violate my rights. By take away what I had a right to come into me as a union person in the union, age union. It's very well clearly states in the age union contract, You cannot fire a person outright unless you got definite justification for doing so. My case here is a letter up there that my wife is going to read, a letter from Dr. Evans telling me why I'm being fired. Will you read it, honey?
Okay, the first letter actually was March 6th, where Dr. Evans wrote to Mr. Young to receive documentations regarding his absence, but they're not acceptable. This refers to 3 doctor's notes. First, the doctor's note was unexcused, was signed by a nurse, so she wouldn't take that. The second doctor's note was signed by a nurse, saying extreme anxiety. Mr. Young was to be out for a month.
And if you notice, these doctor notes are doctor notes that the referee, the labor person, what do you call it?
Arbitrator.
The arbitrator. This is what the arbitrators call my doctor's notes. It's literally strips of paper. The insult that this can happen in the city of Bridgeport, in the state of Connecticut, by state officials who are appointed by the governor, to have the audacity to call my doctor's notes literally strips of paper. Here's what strips of paper look like to me. Here's what you call strips of paper. This is strips of paper, okay? This is what I call strips of paper. But these are doctor notes from my doctor. Both doctor notes were signed by the nurse on behalf of her doctor, Dr. Walters, Albert Walters in Trumbull. Okay, the first one was, and the second one was. And as a matter of fact, the second note was faxed to the health director, Dr. Evans, confirming that I was out for extreme anxiety. Then they had the audacity to want my doctor to give them another note. So I had to go back and get another note from my Dr. Walters about why I needed a leave of absence from my job that they didn't want to honor. The doctor's note, and so-called, he called it a loop. And they say that they're not going to honor that because they, as far as they're concerned, that doctor's note signature look like a loop, and they don't like that, and they're not going to honor that. So what I did was, okay, after hearing what they said, realizing how dangerous they was, I came to work. I came to work on that day. On March 16th, I came to work because I feared that if I didn't come to work, they were going to terminate me, which they did. And there's evidence from Dr. Evans' supervisor, my supervisor, letting Dr. Evans know that I will be going for a colon exam that Friday, which would be the 17th of March, and that I will be in only for a half a day on that Thursday, because I planned on getting married, because I knew that they were about ready to take me out, so I wanted to cover all flanks and make sure I was secure, my family was secure, because we've been through a lot. A lot of the suffering, a lot of the pain that we're going through today is because of this here neglect and because of them persecuting me. And yes, I'm not going to shut up, I'm not going to sit down, so I'm pleading with everybody to go to my website, www.cecilyoung.com. Now, I'm going to sit back and let my wife read these letters to you, because, you know, I can go on. And I will go on, but I want y'all to hear the facts about what we're talking about, which is on my website. Don't like me, don't have to appreciate me, you don't have to agree with me, but check my website out. And if anything I'm saying about the judge, the referees, or these city officials, I ask you to plead with them to sue me. I ask you, why come none of this has been printed in the Connecticut Post? Why come none of this has been spoken about on TV? Why come this has not been spoken about in the news? Because these folks are powerful. They are very powerful. These state labor board commissioners are very powerful. They got just as much power as the governor got. They got the power to call you back to work even if you do commit a crime, as they did here with these 40-something state workers who were terminated, okay, for so-called receiving funds unjustly. Yet and still they was all giving their job back, benefits, and the whole 9 yards. But they fired me because of what? Me being out? Being out for 2 weeks under the doctor's care? Here's the other note telling you that I would be going for a colon exam. They got that as well. Now I will give you my wife, who will finish reading the letters in that order, because, again, like I said, I get wind up.